So in 2016, we started adding videos or podcasts to all our modules. So on a weekly basis for each module here in CAS, students receive either a video with a summary or a recap of what they've done in the lecture, or an audio podcast. And that was kind of like the start of our use of Panopto as an opportunity for blended learning. And it's been almost 2 years now of using this version, and we've developed alternative ways, using student feedback and looking into the pedagogy behind it as well. There are a number of benefits. I think it's very engaging for students to have the capacity to revise what has been discussed in the classroom. As I said, we've been using recorded videos for almost 2 years now, and students' feedback has been very positive. They love having the capacity to go back and check if they've understood the topic correctly, or maybe if they've forgotten about something. I think they very much like having also brief videos with reflective questions. That's been very positive. Again, to support them in their reflection, stretching students in their critical analysis. Something that they've really find that their feedback is very positive is having the assessment guidance in video, so they can go over it and over it again. And you can actually see in the stats on the video and how many students have watched it, and you can see how right before the submission everyone watches it again. I think it really promotes their reflectivity as well, and independence. And lastly, it's really important if you think about employability and professional skills that they can then translate in the capacity of using technology in an effective manner. It's quite important. We do spend a lot of time trying to work with students around developing their IT skills. So it's quite important to stretch beyond the writing and engaging with video, podcasts, and e-journals and so on. And lastly, I think in terms of inclusion for students who might be struggling for additional learning or having English as the second language, I definitely would have benefited from having it in my time as a student. So it's been very positive, and there's loads in terms of pedagogy. There's been lots of research around it, so it's very helpful. Yeah, I would say don't overestimate your students' capacity to engage with technology. So keep things simple and engaging. I would say my first attempt at using this blended learning approach came after I completed my PG cert here at PhUELed, and Warren, who was our teacher at the time, suggested us 3 points. One, keep it brief, so under 3 minutes, and you can actually see the students stop watching the videos after, like 5 minutes is really the top you can do. Don't script it. If it's unnatural, it does come across as unnatural and fake, and it's boring. It's much better to have the uncertainty or the breaks, or it just is so much more entertaining. So keep it short, don't script it, and also think about the use of it. So don't just go off a tangent and talk about something that is completely useless for students. Make it relevant and ensure that it's embedded in the module, because otherwise having just something on Moodle that it's not embedded and not explained, it becomes a pointless exercise that no one really engages with. We've had very positive feedback. As I said, we started using a blended learning approach in 2016, and initially it was only with the videos, and students were very positive about the use of videos and podcasts as recap for the lecture. If a student misses a lecture or a class, or if they are not clear about something, they can go back on it, and they've been very vocal about the benefits of that, to the point that they've actually asked if we could start panopting seminars, which was a bit complex in terms of the fact that it's a workshop, so it's not really practical. Another positive feedback was with regards to the use of videos as summary of review of what the assignment is about, and that's apparently very helpful for students. If they are panicking right before the submission, they can review at any point of the day without having to email you to ask for further support. And I think in terms of feedback, students have been much more positive about the recap sessions, so the shorter ones, or if it's the whole lecture, so if it's a lecture capture video, students quite like for us to provide bookmarks in the video or indicate at what point they should clock in. One point to be very mindful of is that students might struggle with the technical side, so it took a bit of time in providing them with guidance, and visual guidance is much more helpful, so having a sort of like screenshot approach. Another point is that some students might not have internet access at home, and that's been a problem at times, so it's a matter of encouraging them to use the library with headphones and watch the videos or work from the library. But I think overall the approach, the feedback has been very positive towards this approach, and we're looking at making it even more meaningful moving forward and try to be as inclusive as possible.